Head on over to G2A and enter Kami's Crystal Cave to get some sweet deals on crystals and more. Remember to click on the lowest price and use the promo code KamiVS to get the best deal. G2A. What's going on, everyone? Kami here, and we're back with another Coach Kami. This one's going to be of Wolfyxox, and it is of Ying. This gameplay is on Ice Mines, and Wolfie is Diamond 4. So I want to quickly remind everyone, if they want to get their own Coach Kamis coached by just be part of my Patreon in the appropriate tier, or be a subscriber to me on Twitch. It's a way that I can thank people for supporting me and allowing me to do what I do for a living, and that's make videos for you guys and stream on Twitch. So let's get into the gameplay, or better yet, let's get into the loadout. So we're going with Life Exchange, which remember means if you right click, you don't detonate your illusions anymore, you just heal for 800. Pretty sick. Now what makes it super sick is Brittle, being able to have to put that at a 5. It also, remember, the Life Exchange adds a second onto your right click, so this essentially just takes it down by 2.5. It's still ridiculous, so how many times you can right click to heal. The thing that's important about the right click heal is you need to aim with it. Like it's not auto aim, so that's important. Spring Bloom 5, Illuminations reduce the cooldowns. Always having a rewind at least level 1 is always nice. Just, you know, if you teleport, you pop up an illusion. If it doesn't get blown up right away, that's just free healing that you're giving your team. It's insane. And then illusions lasting longer paired with Spring Bloom means your illusions are going to be up all the time, and it allows you also for a more of a chance with the increased duration to place one in the back if you want a good escape route, which I think is important for top level Ying gameplay. And you're going to be picking up Morale Boost, which I think is a go-to on Ying. Her ultimate is probably the best support ultimate in the game. It not only gives AoE healing that people need, it just latches onto every single person, but it also allows her to teleport to anybody, so it's a good way to get back into the fight. So we're sitting in the back, we're just popping illusions down. That might spell death for you, old Nander. That will. I think that was fine, your placement. You didn't really need to be that much farther out. I don't know if it's the recording. That was actually a good dash forward in case Monster Mel was gonna be able. Oh, also shout out to Monster Mel. Let's go. Haven't talked to her forever. But that was a good job at like dashing forward, teleporting forward, and teleporting back. Just in case if the Inara was going to push on you, you just would have died, you know. But you're staying in the back, you're keeping illusions down, and you're spamming the right click heals on the targets. You're reloading a lot too. You're reloading after like every shot. I'm wondering if it's like an auto reload script or something, or that's just a habit of yours. I guess it's not that big of a deal. Just make sure that it's never interrupting your ability to always place an illusion down or right click when you need to do. Don't ever think to yourself, I need to finish this reload. But here's the first thing that I would say from the very beginning of me noticing or watching your gameplay. Let me pause it right here because there's a fantastic thing that I can suggest, and this is specifically to Ice Mines. I think it's a really good tip, is just you hitting your heals. I don't know if it's because of the spectator, but I'm pretty sure when you hit a heal, I notice it because I see numbers pop up and I notice their health goes up. But you are popping a lot of heals and you're missing a little bit here and there. So make sure to just try to give yourself like an extra half a second, at least starting off, to make sure you line up that heal. If they're going around a corner and you just don't think you're gonna be able to hit them, sometimes it's worth just saying, all right, screw that, I'll look for another person to heal. The specific Ice Mines tip is if you line yourself up, this line of sight, you can angle yourself to stand right on the edge here. I think it's right there, right? Oh man, now I need to go check it. It's either right there or it's right on the other side. It's this left side. So it's either the right side, I'm pretty sure you can do it. You can get a pretty good angle on them up there. And then you can also be over here on the left side and get an angle if someone's right around the corner. Make sure to try to always use that as a healer. Okay, yeah, you can see right here, you're on the point and you can see this. So this is a good angle right here. Good job backing off of that. Drogo's going in for a punch, able to hit the Inara. Honestly, don't know about the ult there just because you already had the Cassie down. You're just trying to keep the Ashe alive, and you were trying to keep the Ashe and you're trying to keep the Fernando alive, but Fernando got dropped and now the Ashe is dropped. Got a spelled day out. I think it would have been worth holding off on it just because you already had a person down. Your tanks would have died a little bit quicker. They would have been able to get back a little bit quicker, and you would have been able to teleport back. You would have been able to pop an ult and just teleport back immediately. It would have been sick. I think it was an okay ult. Just if you would have popped it a little bit earlier. Usually you want to hold off on ulting if you see one person down. Like if you see one person down, one person so low, you're just like, this probably won't save them. Just think about the aftermath. Think about, okay, if I ult and I don't save the second person, how many people am I going to have up? Well, I'm going to have myself and I'm going to have 2 people, 2 tanks. Not going to be able to do anything with that. Good job keeping your illusions up, making sure they're at least healing, mainly healing the your back line. That Drogo's trying to fly up in the air. Maybe we'll try to peek that to get a heal on him, but not able to pull that off. Fernando able to get back out. Try to line up those shots. There you go. Perfect. Keep the illusions out there. Make sure your illusions stay on cooldown, which they are. Perfect. Doing a better job than me keeping those illusions off cooldown. Or on cooldown. I don't even know the proper way to say that. It's crazy, like, visually watching this play. And again, I don't know. Good teleport. I don't know if it's because I'm not playing it, but it's just like this is like reloading, right-clicking, reloading, right-clicking, placing an illusion down, reloading, shooting. Maybe it was a right-click. Maybe there's like a thing that when you right-click, it looks like I hear the shooting. No, because you grip when you right-click. It's really weird. I don't know. There's just a lot of things going on. Maybe it's just the skin that's that bad. Now here you have your ultimate up and you're at the 1 minute mark, so you want to keep in mind that if you ult now, you're going to easily be able to build your ult back up, especially with morale boost and especially with Ying. So if you see someone low and you don't think you're going to be able to get a heal on them, go for it. Try to keep them pushed back. Also, don't make the mistake of allowing yourself to get, well, the Talus didn't even try to ninja, but try not to get ninja. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes. I've done it to people. I've had it happen to me on Ice Mines where if you push out too far, it's too easy for the opponents to just slip past you from the side and be able to get through and push it back. And sometimes they can push it all the way through, and sometimes they just push you back far enough to where the front can start pushing through, like the rest of the enemies. Here, I feel like there's a lot of missed right clicks. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll say whatever. No. Okay, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Keeping the illusions down. Just there's so much left clicks. Ah! Suck on that, Drogos. Not really much to say here. I mean, there's nothing going on, you know? I maybe focus on trying to get that Ashe healed up a little bit more wherever she went. Oh, she got full heals. What the hell? I'm out of combat regen. Just focusing on that last minute, just getting a little bit more heals. Not because, you know, oh, I get better healing numbers, but because you're looking to pad your credits. Pad your credits, and then you pad your ultimate charge too, but you didn't need to do that. So now we're on the next round. It's 1-1, and you have, there you are, morale boost 2. I think that's legit. Now you might be wondering what your other item you're gonna wanna go for. And I think you have a multitude of options. If you look at defensive, you might be thinking maybe Haven, Anara, Victor, although he does run Shrapnel. Assault Rifles don't feel nice. You got Maldamba, and you've got Talus. Talus is gonna be able to shred real quick, honestly, with or without Haven. For me, honestly, I would go with Resilience. That's gonna stop the Torvald knockback from the ult, which in Ice Mines could be catastrophic. Anara stun, Maldamba fear, I guess. Talus knockback, whatever. But in general, I think Resilience is going to help you out the most. But for now, I'd say focus on picking up your morale boost. And your big decision you're going to want to go for is, do you want to pick up Wrecker or do you want to pick up Cauterize? Right now, I think you have a decent amount of Cauterize. I think another Cauterize wouldn't hurt. I think Wrecker might be your best choice, though, honestly, because a Talus plus a Torvald shield can be bad news bears. I think I bring up the fact that, you know, looking at net worth, you're 1,600. You have the most net worth in the game right now, so you definitely are ahead on items. Can't argue with that. Ultimate ready. I think just propping a preemptive illusion out there is solid. I don't know where that ult was hitting for the Anara. Be careful about being too far in there. Going for the ultimate. That's a lot of ultimates right there. That was so many ultimates. That was the Cassie ult going off. You just Ashe ulted and you just Ying ulted. The Ying ult was fine. I don't know if the Ashe ult was really necessary. But to be fair, the other team doesn't have that many ultimates. Here's the possibility that this Torvald can go for a giant, I mean, this Torvald, oh my god. Torvald right there, if he was pushed up, that's like a triple kill right there. That would have been bad. Again, right here, peeking on the left side or peeking on the right side to make sure to get heals on there or get the illusions placed up a little bit farther. Huge. Oh, there's the Torvald attempt to ult, but it failed. Bummer for them. There's an ult from your Fernando. Sad that he's not backing up a little bit. Talus ulting. Okay, I figured the Talus is going to either ult you or him to be able to get to the point and touch it. Damn, he did a lot of damage to you. Talus is nuts. Yeah, there you go. I actually dig the giving up on the Cassie and not really focusing on it too much and not panicking too much. You see how you were crippled and you were trying to run away. You didn't forget you were shooting at her a little bit and you didn't forget to place an illusion as you're getting out. A lot of times people, when they're jumping out, all they're focusing on is using their movement ability to get out. So all they're doing is running and spamming their movement to get out as fast as possible, where they should be doing attacks or placing other things down like their other abilities, because cripple doesn't stop everything. It just stops your movement ability. It's a good job with the Fernando staying on there to make sure they get the capture point. A lot of things are crumbling around you though. Cassie's probably gonna get dropped. Oh, good heal. Sorry, gotta stop yawning. All right, never mind. The crumbling has stopped. Teleport underneath there to be safe. Not much to say here. Now it's time to get past the first choke point. This first choke point is the hardest to get past. You want to make sure not to push up too much. Remember, you're still the healer. You can pop the illusions up there. Just kind of pop a peek, pop a right click on heal someone, illusion if it's up, and then call it a day. That's a huge bummer that your Fernando was dropped when you had like an illusion healing him. I think you right click heal him and you had an ult on him. That's a bummer. Keep in mind, something that I always forget is that doorway, or that hallway right here where the Cassie's peeking down is completely open. That's a great spot for the Drogos to throw Spitfires down. It's a great spot for a Cassie to spam left clicks and just in general damage down. And the takes will probably need to move up on the right side. Ooh, Fernando barely being able to stay alive with that wall coming up. Yeah, make sure not to peeking out too much. Most people would probably think, am I lost? I think you knew exactly what you were doing. All you did was teleport over there to an illusion you placed down earlier in the round, or not too long ago. Pop the heal on the Ashe, and then teleport it back to make sure you keep the heals on the Fernando. I think it's good awareness on your illusion placements. For the most part, I think one thing you do really well in this game, at least, is making sure that you have an illusion in the back that generally can give you some sort of out. At least a little bit. Maybe not like a crazy amount of out, but just you're saving yourself a second or two from being able to do it. Be able to get out, that is. Talus just dropped your Cassie. There goes your Drogos. Definitely don't want to see any ults coming out, especially 30 seconds. And here's a big thing too, and I say this all the time, is when you're ulting, not only do you want to pay attention to time, but you want to pay attention to how far the payload has to move for the defense and the offense. Right now, there's no but the same theory applies to both sides, unless it's near the end. Where if it's at the end, I think there's a little bit different mindsets to if you want to ult or not when it's like the last second, and overtime's procced and they just need to move another inch. But when the payload doesn't move that far whatsoever, both teams should have no incentive to ult. Defense has no worries because the offense isn't close, and the offense should not feel cocky to be able to push it through when the time's almost about to run out, when they're just like, yeah, I think I can push it this entire way and just rely on overtime. Like, think about it. Every second that passes, that overtime means if you pop off, it's just going to tick away that much faster. Once they get around this corner and damage is starting to be put onto the payload a lot, the instant they walk away, it's just gonna delete. And there you go. There's the overtime going away. And I think that Wolfy pulls this off at some point in the game where they place an illusion up on the top, and that's a great way for an escape. Is you place an illusion, then you immediately look at it and you teleport. I think I want to make note to all players that don't play Ying that much. When you go into, let's say, a training ground or whatever, when you pop your illusion down, let's say you have 2 illusions down, hold down your teleport button and look at both of them, and you will see a diamond pop up, and it's telling you which people you're going to teleport to, and that's huge because you can choose. Now there is like a, what do you call it, priority system where it'll first look for an active illusion, then it'll look for an illusion that's died within the past whatever amount of seconds, I don't even freaking know, and then it'll just teleport you back to an X amount of seconds that you were ago. I don't, it's really weird. I think they need to be a little bit more obvious, or at least come up with a better system of how the teleport works. But in general, when you have your ultimate up, that's where you can really notice when you ult. You can hold your teleport down, highlight, and you'll just see crystal or glowings on all your teammates to figure out which one you're gonna teleport to. Looking at the items, picking up morale boost 3. Yep, just had a stroke there. And net worth, just showing that you've done a crap ton of healing, which I'll show here in a second, and your net worth is up because of the crap ton of healing. I think I'd show the healing at some point. There it is, 184,000 healing. We don't get to see the scoreboard at the end, so I wanted to take note on this. And 71,000 healing from the Damba. It's a big difference. I think you're gonna feel free to pop the ult early, because honestly with Morale Boost 3, you're gonna be able to build it up easily within the same fights. Stun didn't really hit anybody. You're looking up at the top left. Drogos is dropping a little low, and you immediately ult. That's probably something I would have done. Maybe would have thought to myself, not really worth it, but you never know. You never know. It also gives the Drogos, which he does take advantage of, but oh no, he's not able to get the kill. He does take advantage of the ultimate that you had going off to say he feels more confident being able to try to go for a punch. Fernando going for his own ult, just make sure that he can drop down to the ground. It kind of plants him on the ground against the Torvald ult. I think that's fine. I don't think it's enough reason not to pick up resilience when you're just like, you don't want to feel forced to use your ult every single time. A note here, somebody might be asking, why isn't this Ying getting on point? Well, the Ying's actually doing a really smart play here, and they're not getting on point. Because if a Ying gets on point, especially in ice mines, there's not a lot you can hide behind. I guess you can maybe try to get over here to the right side so you can easily pop in off on and off the point. But even just running there with a Talus or a Victor and a Torvald's there, and then there's a Talus and there's people running back, it just would have been rough. Right now, the goal is to win the point, not to capture the point, to win the point. People think that you need to go to the point every time, and that's a valid strategy. You know, you can play to make them come to us. But for the most part, you want to find good positions you want to hold, win those fights, push them back, then capture the point, and then make them go through choke points in which you could spam the crap out of. That's just Paladins in a nutshell right there. That's Overwatch in a nutshell, you know? I'm sure people have seen PPL players that don't go straight to the point. That is just not how it goes. Not to mention, I've heard that like PPL play, what are they, like, we're running 4 damage or something? That's just nuts. So they're just playing out a little bit too far. Luckily, your Nando was able to get the point capture, but just playing out a little bit too far. But you kind of had that situation where I told you not to do that. You know, not that you could hear me, but you know, I say not to do that. But then there's also a time where you could just steal a point from them. You're so close, they're not making a push, and it's like, screw it, dude. If I just get on the point just for a couple seconds, you can make it happen. I'm gonna go ahead and drop my scoreboard here any second now. Thank you, Kami. Jesus. Oh, couldn't able to hit the heal. Some of these heals, I feel like that one right there, I feel like they should have hit, but it didn't. And then some of them that don't hit, but I think that's 3 misses in a row. That's 4 misses in a row. I'm not trying to call you out here. I could be wrong about that. Some of them might have been hitting actually, but they weren't showing up because of cauterize. Yeah, it's too hard to say. Never mind. Subtract what I say there, but you have a general idea of when you know you're hitting, when you're not hitting. That was a good heal right there. I'm sorry, I'm trying to focus on the healing right now. That was a good heal right there. That was a good heal right there. That was good, I think. I don't know, but the heals didn't feel like it went off. I'm so confused. If you're not hitting them, make sure to try to focus on hitting them. The only way to really hit them better is to improve your aim. And there's no reason to dwell on that too much because that just comes with practice. I watched a Damba video recently, the Coach Kami, for the Damba, and at one point they were standing still and they weren't even moving. They were just standing still and aiming with their mouse hand. And I think in general that's a great way to practice because people tend to rely on their strafe aiming too much, which means they strafe with their keyboard to aim. And if you rely on that too much, it could really hinder your aim overall. It's mainly bad when you need to make minute adjustments with your mouse to be able to heal a target right next to your crosshair and you can't strafe at all. Yeah, then you'll start overshooting a lot. But I think for the most part, that was okay. That was a bit of a whiff there. I think you're doing fine though. I think you're doing fine. Just, you know, there's always room for improvement. And you have a lot of great placements on your illusions, and you have a lot of great decisions on when you teleport. See the way that the Wolfie jumped up to the right side on top using the illusion to teleport up there, I think was great. Maybe staying up there a little bit longer to place in another illusion up there to make sure that the Ashe was going to have a double heal up there, and then you could focus your right-click heals on the heals for the Fernando on the cart. I think that would have been great, but in general, you placed an illusion up there when you teleported up there, so better than nothing. Good job of holding onto your ult here. Staying alive, staying alive. I don't know why this Talus isn't killing you. Ooh, that shield is going to spell death, though. Just backing off. You could teleport here to try to eliminate some of the damage, but you get the kill anyway, so suck it, Talus. All right, we're rolling back out. Remember, you've got Morale Boost 3 over here. I can't remember. I think they may have killed the heal. Maybe Blast Shields. I think that's what they picked up. I wish I would have looked. I'm literally terrible. But be careful about being grouped up over on the left side too much. It's a good job actually pre-ulting right there, right when you hear the Anar ult. Of course, it's going to trigger the Jorgos to say, time to go. I don't know if the Jorgos is going to be able to pull off the punch. He is on the Talus, unexpected, but at least he nails it. Hopefully your team's not going to be all wiped away. Again, this is a possibility that this Torvald, if he just peeks out, here comes an ult. Yep. Cassie's able to roll against it, but I think the Cassie ends up dying. Cassie does die. Ashe dies. Time to run. Time to run. There's not much you can do here. Okay, actually, this would have been a play that would have been insane, but I think would have been really, really risky, but it would have been insane. When you teleport here, you turn around, you're looking at the Talus, the Victor, and the Torvald. You can see him in a split second, but you're already firing here. I think what you did was a safer move, just running in and saying, look at me, look at me, look at me, kill me, kill me, kill me, so you could get back as soon as possible. If you would have like either tried to sneak through and stay alive, that would have helped you being able to push through with your tank, or if you would have, the risky play would have been to stay back. Oh man, do I turn around to see what's going on? Because I know it's the first thing I thought when I was recording this. Nah, it's not gonna show it, but yeah, if you would have stayed back and stayed alive, but oh man, if you would have stayed back, stayed alive for like 5 seconds and then died, I would have been like, that was the worst play you've ever had. Like, what inclined you to make that type of play? And I suggested it. I don't know. It's there's the Damba coming back. Yeah, the Damba probably would have saw you. You wouldn't have time to hide. But here we go. If we get some sick damage and some sick heals going off here, you're gonna be able to pull off another ult here really soon. 43%. What are you talking about there, Kami? Well, now we're at 47, about to hit 50%. And never mind. GG. I think overall, you did a good job at just staying and doing everything at all at once. You were shooting, you were reloading, you were placing illusions, you were right-clicking at all times, pretty much as soon as you could, while sometimes could be a little bit overwhelming for me. I think it's fine. Maybe you don't need to reload that much, and hopefully, as long as it's not taking away from you being able to right-click on cooldown, or not taking away from your aiming at all, then don't worry about it too much. But overall, I think the loadout was solid. I think it was literally the loadout that I used, so of course I'm going to compliment that. I think the item choices were solid from what I remember, going Morale Boost at the beginning, and then either going Wrecker or Cauterize would have been fine. Your placements of your Ying and your illusions were solid, always making sure, trying to make sure you always have an out, being able to teleport out. I think a couple of times, remember when you teleported forward and then teleported back out to kind of mess with the Inara, I think was big. And at one point when you teleported forward to heal the Ashe that was on the point trying to zone out to push the payload, and then you teleported back to heal the Fernando back there. I mean, it was good placement on the illusions and when you were teleporting. And lastly, your ults, I think were all pretty solid. Well, I mentioned at one point that you maybe ulted a little bit early, but in general, who would have known, you know? If you didn't ult and you waited a couple seconds and then someone just got insta deleted because of burst meta, you just never know. It's hard to really predict those types of things right now in Paladins. I want to thank Wolfy for sending in this footage. And again, if anybody wants to tell people down in the comments how much better they are than this person or how bad this person is, no one cares. Quit posting that. Can we please try to keep this comment section filled with generally nice things, you know? If you have some constructive criticism, feel free to do it, even if it's a little bit of negative, you know, saying what they need to focus on and get better on. That being said, don't tell them they're terrible. Please try to build this channel on positivity. Let's try to keep it that way. But I'm gonna head out of here. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Hey, thanks for watching. I'm not gonna be one of those people who asks you to like and subscribe, so...
I'm not gonna ask.